Did you know that you are unstoppable? How do I know? Well, you're here again, or for the first time. I'm Stephanie Filardi. Welcome to Mind the Gap, the podcast. I believe many people fall short of living the life of their dreams simply because they get stuck in what I call the gap. The vision behind this podcast is to help you understand how to navigate the gap and in the process, awaken to the life that is waiting for you. It starts now. Let's go. Welcome, friends. Thank you for joining me today. In this week's episode of Mind the Gap, I am here to remind you that in addition to the fact that you're doing great, you're also unstoppable. I'll explain. But first, let us begin by taking those 3 conscious breaths. Inhale, filling belly, ribs, and chest. Exhale, release, letting go, chest, ribs, belly. Inhale, filling, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, sweet release, let it go, chest, ribs, belly. One more time. Inhale, filling, belly, ribs, chest. Exhale, sweet release, letting go, chest, ribs, and belly. Nice work. So my intention for reminding you that you're unstoppable is because you are. And the reason why I know that is because you're here listening to this podcast once again, or it's your first time. So the bottom line is you keep showing up. You're showing up to be inspired, to learn something, to plug in. So no matter what's going on in your life, you have chosen to take the time to plug into something. So may that be a reminder that no matter what you have coming up, that you are absolutely unstoppable. In life, when we keep showing up, when we're faced with challenges and obstacles, maybe even sometimes when we're dealing with emotions, we're tired, we're feeling lazy, whatever it is, the key to being unstoppable is to continue showing up. And I have found that oftentimes in my life, I have been derailed from accomplishing something or keeping my word because I have allowed my emotions to dictate my actions. Now, don't get me wrong, we are feeling beings and most of us are motivated and inspired to act because of emotions, because of something that we have experienced or something that we want to experience. So what I want to share with you today to help keep you on the path of being unstoppable is how to deal with some of these emotions. So we've had a challenging year, no doubt. 2020 has been quite the unexpected, uncertain challenge. And as we close out the year and as we enter the holiday season, that also brings up a lot of times just an opportunity to reflect, right? To reflect on what we've been through, maybe some of the things, as I mentioned in last week's episode, things that we're proud of, things that we've overcome. So this is an opportunity to learn a little bit more about feelings and emotions. And when I was meditating earlier today, I came up with this sentence or this line of like, sometimes you just got to feel and deal. Feel and deal. So real simple. There's nothing wrong with having emotions. I actually like to think of emotions as a sixth sense. So we have our sense of sight and hearing and taste and smell and touch. So emotions are like a sixth sense. And oftentimes when we're having emotions, especially the ones that are on the intense side, so whether they're intense in a positive way or intense in a negative way, there's something to be learned. So as you navigate this time and continue to be unstoppable, you get to ask the question of your emotions, what's the lesson? So in order to actually get the answer, it is required for you to accept, allow, and appreciate what it is you're experiencing. So this time of year often kicks up feelings of maybe loss or sadness or grief, or sometimes on the positive side, excitement, anticipation. So whatever they are, when you can accept, allow, and appreciate your emotions, all of the energy that you were using to resist the emotions, in particular the more challenging ones, all of that energy gets freed up. So as you release that energy, again, whether it's the positive or the negative energy, it's still energy. You come back to the place of neutral ground. And it is exactly from this place of neutral ground where you will be able to effectively and efficiently deal with whatever it is. When you free up the energy of resistance, when you free up this energy that we get so caught up in when we're so emotional, then you're able to think clearly again. And then from that place, you can take inspired action. So again, there's nothing wrong with having emotions inspiring us to act. But the question we want to ask is, where is this coming from? Am I inspired to act from a place of lack? Or am I inspired to act from a place of prosperity and fullness and presence and abundance? Really important distinction. And what ends up happening is when you're able to feel your feelings, accept them, allow them, appreciate them, ask what the lesson is if that's required, then you free up the energy of the emotion as well. So then you return to that neutral ground so that you can act from a place of prosperity, of fullness. And when you act from that place, guess what? You create that result. So your outcome is then sourced from that place of abundance and prosperity and fullness and feeling wholesome. Remember, the opposite is also true. So if we get caught in the feelings and we don't accept them or allow them or appreciate them or see what the lesson is, in particular those recurring emotions, some of us have recurring emotions, then we are more likely to take a negative action, which is going to have a negative result or a negative outcome. So I want to commend you for continuing to show up. I want to commend you for navigating a year that's been quite a butt kicker for pretty much all of us in different ways. And since we are at the end of the year, and we're still really in this COVID-19 pandemic without any real solid answers, even though there's a vaccine out there now, we're still facing challenges. There's still a lot of uncertainties and unknowns. So you get to use this time to reflect on the year and to list every single way that you've been unstoppable. Every single way. No thing is too small. And how do I know? Because you're here. You're listening. You're paying attention. And if you're still listening 8 minutes and almost 20 seconds in, then I know you're even more serious. So remember, emotions are like a sixth sense. You get to feel them, which means accepting them, allowing them, appreciating them, asking, what's the lesson? So if you're sad, maybe the lesson is to focus on doing activities that bring you joy. Or it could mean talking to somebody or writing about it. Once you feel, then you're able to deal because you've released the energy, you've returned to neutral ground, and you've freed up the space to think clearly and take inspired action, which is generative. It's sourced in prosperity and wholeness and fullness. And when you take positive, inspired action, that's what your result and your outcomes become. So thank you for listening. Thank you for showing up. You're doing great. You're unstoppable. Stay connected. Punch over to my website, stephaniefilardi.com, stephaniefilardi.com. Check out my coaching program. It's on the homepage. Watch the video. Sign up and let's make it happen together in 2021. You're unstoppable. Let's go.
If you find this podcast helpful and if it provokes you in any way, meaning you love what I have to say, or maybe you don't like it because it triggers you, awesome. I've moved something in you, and perhaps you will want to share this with someone else in your life who might be interested in being moved. So you can find us on Apple, on Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts. And as always, feel free to share links with people you love, because remember, we are in relationship with each other. So the more that you are present and you invite other people on the journey, the more peaceful world we will live in, because we will be together understanding these concepts. So I thank you for your support, and you help us keep the show going by sharing it, by liking it, by giving us reviews, and helping us to grow. Thank you.